we can get right into it. So this is my first time reading these. I'm gonna read them to you and then I'm gonna give you my opinions on the whole story. So the first one's probably gonna be the longest, and then the other two are a lot shorter. Am I the a-hole for refusing to hand over my college fund for my little sister's surgery? Okay, I feel like this one's gonna be really complicated, but I think, in my opinion, I think it's gonna be like one of those stories where like the parents favor the other daughter, even though this definitely feels like, I don't know, this one's hard. I feel like she's probably not the a-hole. That's my guess. That's just my guess for the beginning. Okay. I, 17 male, am the oldest kid in my family. Oh, I thought it was a girl. I'm the oldest kid in my family. My parents have 2 biological kids, me and my 12-year-old sister, and they adopted me, my 4 other siblings. I had dozens of foster siblings over the years as well. My parents have struggled to make time and have money for all of us. It has meant a lot of sacrificing, and mostly on my part. My parents were able to make sure all my younger siblings had at least one activity outside of school to do, but they never did that for me. I was forced to play football when I was 5. By the time I was 7, my parents started fostering, and I was no longer doing that. My siblings all get to do something they like. Cora does dance, for example. Some of my other siblings are in music classes. The younger kids were also prioritized with school field trips, so they always got to go, while I haven't since I was 6. The last time I asked was when I was about 9, and my parents told me to work for the money to pay. My grandparents found out what they said and gave me the money, and my parents took it off me to use for the household. Oh gosh. My grandparents were so mad at them for that. They delayed my tonsil surgery by 2 years because they prioritized 2 foster kids and 2 of my siblings' surgeries over mine. Oh gosh. Okay. My parents saw how much I was getting the short end of everything with my parents, and they set up a college fund for me. It's a lot of money and really caught me off guard. My parents know about it and cannot access it. They only know because of a fight they had with my grandparents over the lack of saving for my future, when they have saved something for my siblings. My parents said the money my grandparents saved should be divided equally, because 350,000 is a lot to save for one grandchild when you have multiple. I mean, they're only saving that for him because the grandparents realize how like favoring they are of the other siblings. That's fine. Like if he's not getting like the love, or he's not being noticed by his actual parents, like the grandparents are doing it and then they're getting mad about that. That's not okay. That money is still there and I have plans for it, but my youngest sister is 5 and she needs a pretty major stomach surgery. She's had a lot of health trouble since her birth, and my parents have paid a lot of money on her medical expenses. They were told the surgery could turn her life around and give her a chance at living with less pain and stomach complications. It could give her a more normal childhood because she can't do a lot. They don't have money for the surgery and they want me to give the money to pay for it. because she was a gold digger. Yeah, I think this is definitely gonna be not the a-hole. Okay, let's get right to it. I've 38 female, been married to my husband Rob, 52 male, for 4 years now. My husband's late wife died 1 year before we met, and we dated for 2 years before marriage. That's sad. Rest in peace. He has 2 kids, 28 Madison and 26 Brett. Note, I am not calling them my stepkids because they explicitly told me I am not their stepmom, just their dad's wife. That feels mean. But like, that's, yeah. I didn't play a part in raising them, so I'm okay with that. That's, I mean, it's fair, but like, that's still, like, technically that's her role. I don't know. I've never had a step parent before, so I can't relate, and I don't know what it's like, so probably understandable. Okay, back to the story. It's always been tense between us. I've tried my best to be kind to them and have been generous when I can be, but they are very cold to me. Being a child of divorce, I can partially relate to a parent moving on, so I try not to force anything. Good for you, good for you. Madison recently got engaged and we are excited about it. Everyone was over recently and she asked about a wedding budget from us, and Rob told her he was able to contribute 10K. That's a lot of money. Wow, these are kind parents. I feel like my parents are definitely not going to pay for my wedding. But yeah, that's very generous of you. She has bigger hopes for her wedding than this, so she was upset and kept asking for more. Bro, who raised you? This dad is giving her 10K, and she's like, more please. Girl, pipe down. That's crazy. Okay. She has bigger hopes for her wedding than this, so she was upset and kept asking for more. Rob, however, is still working hard on building his savings back up. Before his late wife died, he basically wiped out his cash savings and had to cash out his 401K and even took a small mortgage on his house to cover medical costs as well as life expenses, since he had to cut back on working. Eventually he had to drop the job for a more flexible but lower paying one. So this 10K is actually really generous of him. Bro, he could have contributed nothing but to give you $10,000 and you're like, yeah, not good enough for me. Like, that's crazy. She called me stuck up and after this and stormed out. Then she called her dad later and said that I told her that I blamed her mother for being sick, for her not having a better wedding budget. I told him what happened and he was mad at her, but also said I shouldn't have shared his financial details with his kids. Okay. I don't know why he didn't share the financial situation with his kids. Like, he's obviously, I think they're in love. It's definitely not a gold digging situation because she makes more than him. Maybe he's gold digging. Ever think of that? But I definitely think this is toxic because I think he should be comfortable with telling his kids this situation, because if I was in debt and my husband was like paying for this, I'd be like, yeah, he's doing most of the work. Like, I would be open about that. Like, and it's obvious that he's feeling like demasculated because he didn't want to tell his kids that she was paying all of the bills and stuff, which, I mean, it's reasonable, but still, like, he definitely, I feel like definitely this conversation could have been had before, and the girl didn't have to get so defensive. Like, I'm not saying she's being really defensive, I'm just saying, like, take the high road and be like, yeah, I'm not a gold digger, and I'd appreciate if you'd stop calling me that because you know I'm not, and you know I love your father, and we can talk about this later. Like, I think that's how it should have been dealt with, and then you talk to your husband and say, like, oh, your daughter said this and that, and I don't think that's okay. I think you need to talk to her about this and decide together if you should reveal, like, that you've been paying all the bills. So I definitely think you're not the a-hole, but this probably could have been discussed or communicated better with your husband. Okay, we're on number three, and this will be the last one. And type in the comments if you guys want a part 2, because these are really fun to make, besides the fact that I've had to redo this 4 times. But yeah, this is actually quite fun for me. Okay, this one's called, am I the a-hole for walking out of a wedding I was a part of and ruining the day? I think this one, like, the title's too broad. I definitely have to get like a better look at the story before I answer, but I feel like for walking out of the wedding I was a part of and ruining the day, you definitely could be the a-hole, but I need more information for this. Okay, I dated my ex-boyfriend John for 4 years and got serious enough where we started planning for our future, wedding, kids, etc. I thought we were pretty happy, but last year he dumped me pretty silently, and I tried to figure out what went wrong, but he said it was personal and that I should respect his space. During this time, my best friend Stacy and her fiance Tom were rocks, letting me crush their place and just being overwhelmingly supportive and loving. That's good. It's always good to have people that are there for you. Like, you need that in your life. When Stacy asked me to be her maid of honor, I thought it was a no-brainer and happily took on the task. Fast forward to what happened this weekend. The morning of the wedding, Tom asked me to meet for breakfast super early in the AM before all the festivities. I thought it was weird, but assumed that maybe he wanted me to pass something along to Stacy. What happened instead was that Tom let me know that a few days prior, Stacy admitted to him that she had an affair with John. She had an affair with John, which was what led to our breakup. So, the bride-to-be had an affair with the writer's ex-boyfriend that's what led to their breakup. That's crazy. And then she was like there for her after they broke up. That is a fake ass friend. Sorry. That's a fake friend. Oh my goodness. I can already tell she ain't the a-hole. We're gonna continue. He said that Stacy wanted to come clean and start their marriage fresh. That's crazy. And that he was forgiving her to move forward. What? He forgave her? Bro, that was right. She broke Also, Tom just forgave her like that. We're gonna continue. Okay, he had gone back and forth between telling me and finally decided to spill the beans. I guess he had expected me to forgive Stacy too because the affair was so long ago. The opposite pretty much happened, and I just walked out of the wedding. Props. Good on you, girl. It ended up causing a huge mess because I was basically running the whole show. Stacy made me do everything, so she didn't even know what was happening at certain times or who to call. Not only that, but everyone realized that the maid of honor wasn't there. She had headshots and bios of the party on her wedding page. Who has a website for their wedding? A wedding? That's weird. A wedding page. And news of the affair eventually got out because our cousin knew John. Stacy and Tom have both been slandering me online now, saying that I ruined their once-in-a-lifetime moment. Why does Tom not care about the affair? His soon-to-be wife, actually no, his wife at this time, I guess, had an affair with another person, and he's like, oh yeah, you ruined my big day. Like, bro, she just cheated on you and you're taking her side. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Some of their friends are on their side saying that I should have handled the situation more privately and at least stuck out the wedding since it was so last minute. I personally don't know what Tom expected, but either way, I've been getting bombarded with texts and heard that Stacy was so upset that she's taken time off work, which does make me feel like an a-hole, especially since I've just been ignoring her calls. This one, girl, you're not the a-hole. Your best friend cheated on her husband with your ex-boyfriend. Not even ex at the time, your boyfriend at the time. This feels pretty clear-cut to me. Like, you're definitely not the a-hole. And also, I don't know what the husband was thinking, because he was like defending her, being like, oh, it's all in the past. Like, that was a week ago, buddy. A week ago. Don't forgive her like that. Don't forgive her that easily. But yeah, I really liked filming this and doing this so much. So if you guys enjoyed this, please tell me in the comments below. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and I just want you to know that you are beautiful, you are loved, you are so smart,